I'm Tom Baker, this is Chasing Cars, and today we're taking a drive in the Audi TTS. The Audi TT is actually one of my favorite cars from this brand. Why? Because there's nothing else really quite like it at this end of the market. It's a very small, very short wheelbase, two-door coupe that has grunty engines. They drive all four wheels pretty much all of the time, and that's pretty unique. I also like the way this car looks. That's very subjective though. You can tell me if you agree down in the comments. But the other reason I like this TT is because Audi are about to scrap this in favor of probably an electric SUV. So this is going to be the last chance to buy a conventionally powered, small, light sports car with the TT badge, I think. So, is it any good? That's what we're going to find out, and it does have to be good because the TTS is a six-figure car in Australia, just. So, the sporting credentials start the right way by the fact that you climb kind of down into the TT. It's a nice low car, the driving position is excellent, the view out isn't bad either, and then you're presented with a really beautiful interior. Audi have been nailing cabin design for basically a decade, and the TT is no different. In fact, the TT is something of a modern classic at Audi because it's the car that introduced the virtual cockpit, which so many manufacturers are now copying. In fact, in the TT, the virtual cockpit, the screen in front of the driver, is the only screen. There isn't a central touchscreen, there's no central infotainment for the passenger to use. As a driver, you do everything through this one screen, and I've got to say, I really like that. But that does mean that this screen's got to host everything. Vehicle settings, Apple CarPlay, navigation, media, you do it all through here. But interestingly, Audi have kept the rotary dial between the seats. You don't see that on other Audis controlling the virtual cockpit, but you can do everything on the steering wheel as well. So I don't think the industry gets much more driver focused than that, so well done Audi. There are other cool design flourishes too. You have these beautiful rotary AC units here, each of which has its own screen. So we have fan control, temperature, where the air blows. In the outer ones, you've got your heated seat controls. It's great. This design has aged really well because the TT's been on the market for several years now, but still looks new. Then the seats, nice, comfortable, firm, Teutonic seats. We've got the fine Napa leather here in this car, but you can get Alcantara if you want something not animal produced and that won't get so hot in the Australian summer. Now, this vehicle has blue anodized satinated trim, and we've also got carbon fiber. Not sure if that goes with my tastes, but you don't have to get it this way if you don't want to. There are two small seats in the back, but the room back there is so tight, anyone in their right mind will use it as a parcel shelf and as extra storage, because the TT, it's actually reasonably practical. Audi don't make impractical cars, and this isn't an exception, because you've got a decent sized boot here. You can get a couple of small suitcases or a few soft bags in there, no problem. So this is not a bad car to take away for a weekend with somebody that you like sitting next to you. But what is this thing like to drive? Pretty fun, to be honest. You can't go wrong with a nice powerful engine up front and a small light two-door sports car. I mean, it's really hard to stuff that up. Some have, I guess, but Audi certainly has not, because the fundamentals of this vehicle are really good. So sadly, the TT RS with the 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine is not currently for sale in Australia because that engine's been caught up in the WLTP emissions testing nightmare of a delay for Audi Australia, and it probably won't come back. So the TTS is actually top of the tree. This uses a 2 litre 4-cylinder turbo engine. It's the engine called EA888 if you're a Volkswagen Group engine nerd like I am. And it's basically putting out Golf R outputs, 213 kilowatts and 380 newton meters of torque. And that's quite tidy in a vehicle that weighs so little. It's quick. You got stuff like launch control if you want to come out of the blocks as fast as you can, but in actual fact, in-gear acceleration is probably the most impressive part of the TTS's pace. It's fast everywhere, off the line, accelerating in gear when you're already going really quick. This is a pretty fast car in the real world, and it's very usable performance because that torque is sent to a Haldex style all-wheel drive system that isn't afraid to bring the rear wheels into play, and the gearbox on offer is a 7-speed wet clutch DSG with really fast shifts. So what you have here is a little, lithe, usable performance car. That said, you can spend 20 grand less on the TT with the 45 TFSI engine, which is basically what Audi, I should say, calls the Golf GTI outputs. And that car still has quattro, it's still quick. In fact, it's a slightly more balanced experience because when you spend up to the TTS, you're also getting a full-on Audi sport car, and that involves much harder suspension, basically. At times, the TTS is uncomfortable because it's very stiff. On a good road, you'll want that because body control is exceptional, but sadly around town, you could accuse it of being coarse at times, and the standard TT, which has just a lower level sports suspension, more of a comfort-oriented sports suspension, if that's a thing, actually resolves bumps better. So there is that. I'd probably save my money and just get a normal TT, but the TTS is really compelling when you do find that right stretch of road. What both of them share is awesome steering. Like all modern Audis, it's got a nice quick ratio, it feels very well connected to the front wheels, and there's stacks of grip. We've got Pirelli P0 tyres, so it's actually really hard to make the TTS slide. It's a bit easier to make the TT slide, to be honest, because it's on lesser rubber. But both are entertaining, and they just feel light and short. You know, you are sitting right in the middle of this car, you got about the same amount of length on both ends, and it just feels go-kart-like. I really like it. However, there are some aspects that give this car away as a slightly older Audi product. It's quite noisy inside, there's not a lot of sound insulation on coarse chip roads, and in terms of the safety proposition, there's no active cruise control, so it feels a little bit dated in that regard. So, should you buy an Audi TTS? Well, maybe. If you've had your eye on one of these cars for a while, now would be the right time because we know that it's not going to exist much longer in this form factor with a combustion engine up front, a very small and light body in the middle, and just a generally cool and unique character. I actually quite like it. I think the standard TT 45 TFSI is a little bit sweeter than the hard-edge TTS, but it's nice to have an option. And I certainly miss the 5-cylinder TTRS that's sadly unlikely to make it back to Australia before this vehicle reaches the end of its lifespan. Let me know what you think about the Audi TT underneath this video. Give us a subscribe and help us keep making these full-length Australian video car reviews. And as always, thanks for watching Chasing Cars.